Let's go to Phoenix now. Some rough injury news there. Cameron Johnson, who recently had that big 29-point game, has a torn meniscus and is headed for surgery. The timetable there is TBD, and Raf, just brutal news here. I mean, first things first, is there anywhere to really turn in fantasy? Because with Jay Crowder banished, we saw Torrey Craig start on Saturday, and he had a decent stat line, but I think we've lived the Torrey Craig experience long enough to know we can't get too excited there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a straightforward answer. Craig would be the closest one to that because he's starting. But like you mentioned, you pretty much know what you're going to get, and you're not expecting too much there.
Right.
Dario Saric played 21 minutes, I want to say, on Saturday. Was
Mm-hmm.
that a factor? Was that a reason for this game being a blowout, or is he going to get that type of playing time moving forward? I
Yeah.
don't know there. We've got Josh Okogie. I think he's a poor man's version of Craig when it comes to fantasy value. You know you're not going to get much, so
Oof.
why even go through it? So yeah, I don't really know if there's one guy to take. I think if anything, you're just hoping that Mikal Bridges can pick up his production even more.
I will say that the Cam Johnson injury is one of the sadder ones of this season for me because everything was coming together for him and he was starting to roll. I actually had Cam and Pascal Siakam in my FanDuel lineup when they both went down on Friday night. So if you guys want to blame me for those injuries, I can take it. I'm kind of intrigued by the whole Damian Lee thing. 28 minutes, didn't do a ton, had that huge game to kick off the season. I think I'm keeping an eye on Damian Lee. Yes, we have all run the gamut with Torrey Craig, Matt, but
Yeah.
he had a steal. He had 3 blocks. He had a 3-pointer. He had 5 rebounds. He had 4 assists.
Yeah.
Let's not just totally trash Torrey Craig's
No.
gigantic 22-minute line on Sunday.
No, it was a great line. I think just don't
And I think
expect
in
things like that
DFS,
consistently.
I think in DFS, if you can plug Torrey Craig in there for $3,700 or whatever he costs, I mean it's worth a flyer.
Sure. Sure. There's not any chance at this point that they're like, "Hey, Jay, do you want any interest in coming back out there?" I feel like someone's got to make an awkward phone call in Phoenix right now and see if they can mend things with Jay Crowder, right, Raf?
I
Raf, you're
think
muted.
that ship has sailed, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right, fair enough. It's a real bummer, like you said, Steve, because there just does not feel like an obvious kind of fantasy beneficiary here. First of all, and fantasy managers waited out that kind of minutes cap for Cam Johnson early. He was just getting going. The guy you drafted as a late round gem was just starting to look exactly like that, and now he's out for who knows how long. So it stinks. Some point guard related news. Damian Lillard, as of this taping, is questionable for Monday. That's one to keep an eye on. And Steve Clifford told Rod Boone of the Charlotte Observer that LaMelo Ball is very close to returning, but he has been ruled out for Monday. Anyways, 2 big point guards getting close there, so we'll wait and see. But I want to turn some other point guard related news, and this is not injury related. This is Russell Westbrook has actually been playing relatively well off the bench for the Lakers. His last 5 games off the bench, 18.8 points, 5.8 boards, 7.2 dimes, a steal, zero point 0.6 blocks, 2 threes, 50% from the floor, 75 from the free throw line, 5 turnovers per game. What are your thoughts here, Raf? Can we actually trust this version of Russ in fantasy?
I don't know if trust is the right word, but I'm coming around here. The turnovers
Yeah,
are a concern, but it
sure.
seems to this point he's accepted the new role coming off the bench. My one concern is that they're a bit banged up on the perimeter. Lonnie Walker injured his wrist during Sunday's loss to the Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
He went back into the game, but I don't know, maybe what happens with Monday night. And also you've got Anthony Davis questionable, LeBron James probable. Is this a spot where they move Russ back into the starting lineup, at least
Ooh,
for one game? That wouldn't be great, but I
no.
think with the new bench role, he's become somewhat relevant fantasy-wise after a really rough start to the season.
Well, the thing that blows me away about the Lakers, first of all, they're 2-7. They're still not winning games, even with Russ being better off the bench. But Now they're trying to make Troy Brown Jr. relevant in the NBA, which the Washington Wizards tried to do that for years and never could. And
We
somehow
tried for years on the Waiver Wire podcast.
yes, and somehow it's all happening. Like Troy Brown Jr. is like you have to think about picking him up, which is just weird to even say. And Ralph, to your point about Lonnie Walker, he only played 19 minutes on Sunday, and I'm a little worried about his wrist as well. And Westbrook, 19 and 10 with 7 turnovers. I mean, Westbrook's, I don't know that we need to spend a lot of time talking about him because he's rostered everywhere. But, if you got him in this move to the bench is actually a good thing for him. I mean, he's going to be better with the second unit than he was with the first. I think that's pretty clear.
Man, to Raf's point, though, I want no part of him going back in that starting lineup as far as fantasy is concerned. This version of Russ is just fine if you're rostering him. He's really only wrecking you in one of those 3 categories where he can kind of bring you down, and turnovers, I mean, that's okay. 5 is a just gigantic soul crushing number. But anyways, let's just keep Russ right where he is right now.